Students, now today I will explain question number 7 and 8 of exercise 13.1 chapter exponents and powers. Now, what is there in question number 7? We have simplify. You have to simplify all the sum. That is, in question number 1 we are having minus 4 to the power 3. Now, before we start with this sum, I just want to tell you, which is very important, not for this class but for your rest of your class also. Now you see, just write it down. Whatever I am writing, just write it down in your copy. Now, if the number of negative signs, are odd, then your answer, or you can say your product, okay, your answer would be negative. Understood? That means when you expand anything, okay, if you find that when you're multiplying some of the numbers, okay, before that you have to count that how many minus signs are there. If the number of minus signs are odd in numbers, then your answer will always be negative. Okay, this is what I'm trying to say. But if you see that if the number of negative signs are even in numbers, okay, that is even now, even in numbers, fine, then your answer would be always what? Positive. It would be always positive. Okay, so this is a very important thing you have to remember. Fine. Now let's start sum number 1. Now sum number 1 is what? Minus 4 into minus 4 into minus 4. Isn't it? What did I say in the last class? That this is the base and this is the exponents. We all know now. Okay, the number which carries the power is a base, isn't it? So base. And this is exponent. So what is this exponent is saying? That how many times this minus 4 need to be multiplied? That is 3 times, isn't it? 3 times you have to multiply this minus 4. Fine. Now, before you write the answer, the first thing that you will see is how many minus signs are there. So 1, 2, 3. So the 3 minus signs are there, and 3 is what? Odd. So what did I say? That if the number of negative signs are in odd in number, fine, so the answer would be always what? Negative, isn't it? So you will write a negative sign first. And then you will just multiply all the numbers. That is 4 into 4 into 4 is what? 60. So this is the sequence that you have to maintain, student. Okay, the first, see, I have mentioned the sign. Then I have multiplied the numbers. In this case, what will happen? You will never miss out this sum. Okay, so now let's move on to sum number 2. So this is sum number 2. The first thing will expand this form. Okay, that is how many minus 3's are there? No exponential value, that means only one time. So what is the base? Minus 2. What is the exponent? Right here? 3. So that means how many times we have to multiply this minus 2? 3 times, because 3 is written here. So minus 2 into minus 2 into minus 2. Fine. So you have to multiply all these numbers. But before that you have to count what? How many number of negative signs are there? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 means even. And what did I say? If the number of negative signs are even, the answer would be always positive. So you will just write positive sign just for your convenience. Fine. So now just multiply these all numbers. 3 2s are 6, 6 2s are 12, 12 2s are 24. And if you are not writing this positive sign, then also your answer is correct, because if any number, if there is no sign, that means that number is positive only. Okay, and if you want to write this, no problem. Fine. Now let's move on to sum number 3. So this is number 3. What is the first thing that we have to do? We have to expand it. So this base is carrying 2 as a power. Fine, so how many times we have to write this base? 2 times, absolutely. That is minus 3 into minus 3. This base is carrying again 2 as an exponential value. So what is that? What does that mean? That means we have to multiply the base 2 times. Now before you go for a multiplication, you count how many number of negative signs are there. So there are 4 negative signs, students, and 4 is an even number. Even number means your answer would be positive. Lovely. Now 3 3s are 9, 9 4s are 45, and 45 into 5 is what? 225. So your answer is 225. Fine. So let's see what is there in sum number 4. Now sum number 4, we have minus 3 to the power 3, 10 to the power 3. So let's expand this. So minus 3 we have to write 3 times. Sorry, minus 2 we have to write 3 times. And 10 we have to also write 3 times. So this is the expanded form of this one. Fine. Now how many minus signs are there? How many minus? I believe there is a minus sign here. Sorry, yes. Now how many minus signs are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 is even number, and when it is an even number, what should be the answer? Positive. Absolutely right. Your answer would be positive. Now just multiply it. 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, 8 tens are 80, 80 tens are 800, 800 into 10 is 8000. 8000, students. Fine. So this is the solution of sum number 4. Now let's move on to sum number 8. Now sum number 8, we have to compare the following numbers. That means in each question 2 numbers will be given. Now you have to say that which number is greater than which number. Fine. So now in this type of question, you see, okay, the base is carrying a huge, little bit big exponential form. Okay, so it is not possible for us to just expand the thing and just find out the value. So now we have to use the common sense out here. Fine. Now what is the common sense? See, if I ask you that which number is bigger, so if I leave these 2 numbers, suppose you will not see these 2 things. You will not see these 2 things. Fine. So which number is greater? 2.7 or 1.5? Obviously, you will say 2.7. But in this case, you will not see these 2 numbers. Okay, you will not see this. But rather, you will consider it on these 2 values. That means this 2.7 is carrying how many zeros? That means 10 is carrying 12. So the 10 is carrying 12 as an exponential value. That means 2.7 will carry 12 zeros. And this 1.5 will carry how many zeros? Only 8 zeros. Only 8 zeros. Fine. So suppose if I say 2 is carrying 5 zeros and 9 is carrying only 3 zeros. So 2 is carrying how many zeros? 5, and 9 is carrying how many zeros? 3. So which one is greater? Which one is greater? Obviously yes. So this number is much greater than the second number, isn't it? So this is the logic that you have to use, students, especially for this type of question, that the number is carrying how many zeros? Number is carrying how many zeros? So the number which will carry maximum number of zeros, that particular number would be greater number, would be considered as a greater number. So how to write this? Now how to answer this type of question? So we will write this, we will make a box like this, and then the second number you will write on the right hand side. Fine. Now which number is greater? What we have decided? This number. Okay, this number, because it is carrying 12 zeros. So which sign you will put? Greater than. That means this number is greater than this number. Okay. Now let's move on to sum number 2. Now in sum number 2, what we have? 4 into 10 to the power 14, and the next number is 3 into 10 to the power 17. So I have made the box also. Now what is, where you have to concentrate? Yes, we have to concentrate here. So we have to see that 4 is carrying how many zeros? 14 zeros. And 3 is carrying how many zeros? 17 zeros. So the number, what did I say? The number which will carry maximum number of zeros, that number will consider as a bigger number, isn't it? Now that means this number is greater than this number. So if you are following this sequence, then what we have to write? That 4 into 10 to the power 14 is less than 3 into 10 to the power 17. Okay. So that's it for today, boys. So God bless you all. Take care and stay blessed.